Good evening, and welcome to another episode of Varinheim. Before we get started, a quick shout out to our sponsor, as always, D&D Beyond, a great online digital tool set for DMs and players alike to keep track of your weapons, your inventory, and most importantly, your hit points. If you're into D&D, I recommend checking out D&D Beyond. Now, last session, the players decided to go on the offensive, Kolvik Kingdom, to do what Montila asked of the group to start a war. They found a boat to cross the river, which, upon doing so, ran into a bunch of guards. Emerald, though, managed to talk himself out of trouble, though he became quite aware of a curfew that was in place for the city of Kiro. Now, the group quickly found their ways to the sewer system of the city and began making their trek before running into a couple of lizard folk creatures, Cthulhu tentacle monster, and then understanding the guide to prestidigitation. But now the players are relaxed for the most part, still in the sewer system, but out of harm's way. Teferu, the person that they've got with them, had a rather interesting dream. And from there, we'll pick things up. Spring them in. Hello, everybody. I missed you guys. So, this being said, Teferu, if I'm not mistaken, you had a rather interesting dream of you running through the woods. A red hue essentially like filled your vision. And whatever you were fighting, eventually it just grabbed hold and essentially kind of drained the life from you. And that's where we left off. You guys were resting, Pharaoh being one. I do believe, Tanithil, you are meditating?
Yeah.
Or are you awake at this point?
And I'll do the meditate the first 2 hours, so if we're more than 2 hours in, I'm finished with that and I'm up.
Well,
I would
we
say that
did have our boon before we
Right.
went to sleep,
Right.
where it cut all of our time in half for rest.
That's why it's only 2
Right.
hours for me.
Yep.
Right. And I would say that you guys are in the third hour at this point.
Alright, so I'm just up and watching everyone sleep, I guess.
Right.
What a
Why not?
creeper.
What a creeper. Anyway,
Can I
you're doing
decide what it
anything?
smells like inside the bubble?
I mean, you could prestidigitate yourself and make little smells if you wish.
I can guarantee that happened before we went to bed.
I'm amazed we didn't just open
100%
today.
guaranteed.
Press to digitate.
Out of curiosity, is there light inside the bubble?
Let's see.
I know it's
I
temperature
can command the
controlled.
interior to be dimly lit or dark. So, dark so people can sleep.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure.
It is comfortable and dry regardless of the weather outside. How's
Alright.
the weather outside?
Nice.
But can you change the smell inside?
I do not
Weather
see anything
outside
about
is a
smell
smooth.
adjustment.
Oh dear lord. Anyway, that being said, I would say then that you just letting them rest and then wait till everybody wakes up.
Yeah.
Alright. I would say everyone had a pretty good sleep then, good rest to kind of rejuvenate everyone. So y'all should be good, able to wake up.
Well, no eggs and bakey, but it is time to wakey wakey. And it's time to storm the castle. Let's go.
Are we starting with storming the castle? Is that what we're doing?
We're right under it, aren't we?
How about that? Maybe we should have a tiny bit more of a plan than just let's go. I mean,
Chaos.
if
Where's
we're
your sense of adventure?
where
on
is your
this
sense of?
Oh,
Go ahead.
panic.
I'm just bearing in mind Carl and what he was saying regarding the bitter hatred towards elves that these people here have.
Yes, they will likely hate elves even more after this.
Of that I have no doubt.
I'm going to stab somebody. Probably several somebody's.
Okay.
Well, while they
And how was
discuss
the
this
vicinity?
chaos, Trail, can you give us a d20 roll? We seem to have received party chaos for a boon.
We're
I rolled a
Yes.
one.
probably gonna need it.
Bardic Inspiration.
I rolled a 1. What do I need? Does that mean I need to roll twice?
No, it's 20 rolls twice.
Gotcha.
So we all have a D8 Bardic Inspiration die.
All right.
It's not the sheet I needed. So
Do we
Emerald,
want to
you're
try and talk to anyone before we show up inside of the castle?
do we want to, I don't know, maybe gather a little bit of information about, oh, I don't know, where the entrance to the castle is, things like that.
We're in enemy territory, and there's a necromancer controlling hordes of undead. What is there to do but stab?
Now,
I mean,
Sure,
there's
not
also
being
we-
stabbed
slice.
back is always
There's,
nice.
there's stab and there's slice
There is slice.
There is also smash.
and crush.
Yes, crush.
I don't do a whole lot of any of those.
Your mace tells me otherwise.
I,
So, Emerald, were you able to figure anything out from those guards? You're the only one who's actually had any, interactions with people on this side of the river.
they seem very cranky, and there's a curfew on the town that you will go very swiftly to jail for breaking.
Well, thankfully, we at least don't have to break you out of that.
Yes, thankfully they were good listeners.
If you would like some information before we attempt to storm the castle, I could send my familiar out to scout things. As an amusing quirk of that spell, I can cause my familiar to reappear anywhere within 30 feet of me, so we don't even need to open up the sewers in order to pop Fowl out there to scout for us.
Can you bring him back the same way?
I can dismiss him and
Even if you're far away from him?
okay, let's see here. Yes, I can dismiss him regardless of where I am in relation to him, and then cause him to reappear within 30 feet of me.
Perfect.
Well,
Oh. Yeah.
that
You're
would at
gonna wanna
least be a
scout.
good start.
We can at least get
Because-
some information. We have nothing to go on right now.
And if we're supposed to cause chaos, that means we need a way out afterward.
I will look through his eyes and see what we will be getting ourselves into.
See if you can find anything explosive. Let's have a
Okay.
blast here.
So, we have like a ladder up to a manhole cover type thing?
Yeah.
Okay. So I will climb up to the top of the ladder and then conjure Fowl 30 feet above myself and just have him fly off from there.
Okay. As you conjure Fowl, and he's about 30 feet, or like you say, he's 30 feet above where that manhole cover would be. You realize that you're not directly at the fortress itself. You're
Right.
close. You're
Yes. So
on
we're
on the
should
outside.
be
Yeah,
outside it and can scout things out.
right. As Fowl begins flying, does he need to roll a perception to kind of roll a
Well,
perception?
I will roll a perception and see what we get. I believe he's +2, so that gives a 10.
Okay. As he's flying over the fortress, you can see the walls that surround it. They're 20 feet in height, wrapping all the way around this structure. The fortress itself is 5 stories. Now, at the wall, there are guard towers that are probably spaced out every 30 feet.
All right.
From what it appears on each of these guard towers, there's 4 guys minimum. The walls itself look to be manned pretty heavily. Now, the fortress itself, off to the right of it, you can see that there is what appears to be an armory. You can see multiple weapons, ballistas, and of that nature. There's multiple buildings with barrels outside as Fowl flies in low and does a circle. At one point, a guy opens the door and comes out, and you can kind of quickly see there is some crates in there. You don't know of what, but you do know there's crates inside the buildings as well. To the left of the fortress, you see multiple buildings, most likely a barracks. You can see just out and about as soldiers are leaving, probably a good 100 or so, leaving those barracks currently. As you kind of fly along the fortress, get kind of close, you're able to kind of see in certain windows and everything. You notice that at each of the windows, there are 2 people posted up guarding. Each of the soldiers, from what you can tell, are wearing, in some instances, rather slim clothing, either carrying a staff or wearing quite a few bits of jewelry of some sort. In some instances, rings of with like a red ruby or an emerald or a green emerald. You can also see that there are soldiers wearing heavy armor, carrying long swords or great swords. Others are wearing leather armor with bows. You don't see too many people on the inside of any major interest that would kind of automatically go primary target numero uno. But you do see there's quite a few people that are going in that are wearing some rather royal style robes of the Covet colors, which is red, black, and white. Okay.
All right.
Uh, you notice in multiple sectors of the wall that there's stone etchings. Usually, those etchings are kind of symbols of some sort, possibly of an enchantment. Okay. Of what you're not quite sure of. As you can tell, the people that are the citizens of Kiro, you can tell they stand quite a bit of ways from the fortress, even when they're just moving around the outside wall. When one person does get relatively close, like just slightly more than the others, you can tell that the guards automatically switch to pay attention, even though at times they probably shouldn't have been able to notice that person getting close. Okay.
All right. Well, I'll kind of narrate all of this out loud as I'm watching it through Fowl's eyes. Let everyone else know the general state of things.
You see any other manholes around that are closer to the fortress or closer to those crates or anything like that?
They can
Well,
send Foul back out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna dismiss him. If we can see anything from the exterior, that's not going to be a path that will get us inside the fortress. We likely won't have a very easy access, but if we continue onward through the sewers, maybe we'll be able to actually make our way directly up instead of exiting on the outside.
For as heavily fortified as you just described, is it wise for us to be popping up in the middle of that?
Maybe wiser than trying to assault it from the other side of the wall. We will definitely
we
need to be able to make a quick escape.
do we actually need to assault the fort? She just told us to cause a stir.
True. Though,
Incinerating supplies would be a good way to cause a whole lot of annoyance for them.
consider our own purposes as well. We're not
Understood.
just here to cause a war, but it would be nice to finish off a necromancer that is commanding way too much power.
Do you see any indication of the Soren Revos being here?
Nothing other than the assumption that this is where he'll be based out of. We may be able to use the same major image trick from before, now that I've gotten a good look at the different varieties of guards they have, to allow ourselves to blend in once we are inside. I won't be able to get us past a gate using that, because I doubt there's, or I would assume there is some sort of certification or pass or whatever to be admitted into the fortress.
Mm-hmm. Do we have any idea what those keys are for, Emerald?
Nope. But he grabbed me by the face. I didn't like it.
Fantastic move taking them. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm just wondering if we can figure out where they could possibly go to.
Do any of the keys have labels?
I would say
The
I
little
would say no.
tags. Yeah.
would say no.
That's what I figured.
Any of the keys magical?
Y'all haven't.
You
attempted
tell
it before.
me.
I would like to spend 10 minutes and detect some magic.
Actually, while I'm at that, I'm going to pull out the bag of dirt, and I'm also going to be spending some time detecting magic.
Why do you have a bag of dirt?
Because I didn't have a jar.
Oh, right.
From the beach.
The keys are magical.
The keys are magical.
Oh.
Yes.
All of them?
All of them.
Ooh, he's gonna be
kind of
real
magic?
mad.
What'd you say there, Aaron?
What kind of magic?
Okay, if I'm not mistaken,
Evocation. I want bomb keys.
what would technically be the proper form of magic for keys that can just unlock?
I mean, if
A
it's just like
specific block.
opening, like the knock spell is
Abjuration.
transmutation.
Maybe what there, Tenethil?
The knock spell is transmutation.
Mm-hmm.
Abjuration is
Arcane
protection
lock
style
would be
things.
like abjuration.
Yeah, if they're
Right.
using
It
an
basically
arcane lock.
unlocks the arcane lock spells that are all throughout. Not gonna say what.
You're right.
No
So-
worries. I didn't
Okay.
pay attention to a lot of the military studies from back home, but I do know sometimes if it's a large force you're dealing with, sometimes it's best to use a wee bit of intrigue. What if we come at them from their foundation?
We are currently in the sewers.
Yes.
Step up, if you will.
That is why we are in the sewers.
So,
Is there anything we can do to cause a ruckus from here? Because that's a very clear path to get out of here that way. And don't have to deal with hordes of people possibly chasing us.
so what if we figure out where some of the rest of these sewers go? I mean, I don't want to spend any extra time in here if possible, but going out to the street and assaulting this thing directly is suicide.
Does our current path end here, or can we go forward to actually get under the fortress?
There's multiple different paths actually go. I would say that one of the paths does lead towards the fortress. Whether or not it actually goes underneath is yet to be determined.
Well,
So,
I doubt we'll get easy access like a manhole directly into the fortress, but they have to have plumbing there. We can be everyone's nightmare, something crazy coming up through the toilet.
Picturing DeFayru climbing out of the toilet that somebody like just opened the door for.
see, reversing the sewage system would be a whole lot of chaos in itself, and they could deal with this hell that we're in too.
Do plumbing issues tend to cause wars where you're from?
It's a start to get them distracted and let us actually get through to somewhere else. Personally, I think
said was-
incinerating their supplies is probably the best course of action.
Although they said that, well, that lady told us that she just needed a distraction, not necessarily damage, something to cause a stir. And Carl mentioned that sometimes their supplies are from magical means because this land is cursed and they can't grow food.
Speaking of which, what did my detect magic figure out on the dirt? Because afterwards it's identify if it's magical.
Right. When it comes to detect magic, it lets you know what school, correct?
Detect magic is if it's magical or not, identify is school.
Oh, okay. It's magical.
Detect magic tells you the school. Identify tells
Oh,
you
thank
Thank
everything.
you. Oh, making me
okay.
feel like I'm a bad DM. Jesus. Iana.
Magic is the
You're
school
welcome.
as well.
Already have a confidence issue. Don't do that to me.
Apparently, so does my patron right now, too.
You just have to use your action to focus on one particular thing to figure out about it with detect magic.
When it comes to the schools of magic that you're detecting all of them.
I'm gonna let Tanithil know
Fancy
that
dirt.
right away.
Is it flammable?
We could try and find out. Gonna prestidigitate like a flame onto a little candle,
Yeah.
and
You
I'm
can
gonna
light the dirt up a little bit.
see if I can light the dirt on fire.
Just smother the flame.
Okay.
I'm not putting it directly into the dirt to smother the flame. I'm putting it near it to see if it does anything. Have you never played with candles?
Not everyone's
Almost burned
a
down my parents'
pyromaniac,
house.
but I guess Trail is.
I'm sitting here like we are in the
I was
sewers
12.
full of methane and whatever the hell else is down
I'm
here. And
in
it's
a
like, let's
bubble.
just light a fire.
Yeah, why not?
Right?
If anything, it'll give us idea. I can control flames. We're good. I'll be fine.
I don't think you can control that much flame.
I can control enough of it that I'll be fine.
Oh,
You
then
could-
you'll be fine.
Does it do anything?
No.
Okay.
Okay, I mean, that makes sense. It was a long shot, but it would be really funny if the very ground in this place was flammable.
This is not Battlefield Earth.
Uh-huh.
By the same means, the gases and things that come off of, like, sewage are.
Yes. It's a good thing we're in a dome of force.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if
Cause
their
quite the,
resources
bit
are
of
already
chaos.
stretched here, that might get us a way in, or at least
That's what I'm.
something to scramble their forces.
I am agreeing with that. Their land here is cursed. They can't grow food, and when we first came in, it looks like they're conjuring food.
Interesting thought. Excuse me. How hard do you think it would be to bring some of our nefarious undead fellas to whatever chaos we bring to leave there as possible reasoning for it to happen?
What do you mean?
That wouldn't start a war if we're trying to play it off as the undead are doing it.
If they're attacking their own. If they're collaborating and suddenly it looks like they're attacking their own, would that not cause a lot of confusion?
It would be confusion, and it may cause some internal conflict,
Civil war's not a bad idea.
but it's not the specific kind of war we are going for.
I
I
didn't
thought
Chaotic
she
pay.
was
kind, and I think
handling
that's
the
what we're going
actual
for, is the chaotic kind.
I didn't pay much attention in that class, so I don't know a whole lot
Yeah,
up that vein.
the idea of having the people turn on the necromancer for sake of because they have the horde of undead is not is now harming the population here is not bad.
That would be nice.
How do we get them up here?
Well, we don't have any control over the undead. I don't know. I'm still thinking we try to find our way up through the plumbing. We're already in this quite deep. We might as well just own it and
Quite
use our
literally.
current position advantage.
I
Sorry.
I'm kind of I think I'm with Fida on this. I don't think it's a good idea for us to go directly into the belly of whatever this fortress might be.
Underneath and blowing a hole into the bottom of the fortress? I agree with. I like that type of idea. But actually going and like trying to take on these forces, from what you just described with foul flying around, that's a lot.
We definitely can't storm the gates. That would be absurd.
Potentially suicide.
Definitely suicide.
I'm
I like
curious what's
the
like in the
idea
crates and
of
what's in the barrels
getting out
and
of
things
this
like that.
town alive.
We
I'm a
might be
big
able
fan.
to destroy their supplies there, and that could serve Montila's interests, though we might not have another shot at the necromancer if we end up causing him to flee.
He's not in a stronghold, though. It may be a little easier to get him if he's on the run.
This necromancer potentially has over 4,000 zombies at its side.
I would say, are we confident that us as a singular group could could take him on directly right now?
We dealt with many, many zombies, and they're not strong.
The
Having
4,000
4,000
of them.
zombies is a wall of annoyance.
I can definitely go up against zombies. 4,000, that's a big number.
You don't have to fight 4,000 zombies at once. How many can actually reach you? 20?
But even
Just
4,001 at a
move.
time, that would be a lot.
Don't fight all the zombies. We studied all different schools of magic in my college, and the key to necromancers or summoners, just ignore everything that they're doing and go and stab them. Don't worry about the zombies. Stab the man, and everything else will follow.
Well, of course we can do that if we find him,
Well, yes.
but we don't know where he is.
And
We are
it's
We know
not.
going
where
on
he
our guess.
wants to be.
And from our experience, it's not just zombies. They've had mages in their employ, they've had soldiers. They just use the zombies to buffer their numbers.
Yes, they have people here, and we need to avoid the soldiers as best we can.
They had mages powerful enough to blow down the walls of that fort.
Evocation. Such primitive magic. Unless it's on keys. I really want bomb keys.
How would that
Primitive
work?
Tends to work,
I don't
Tanithil.
know.
I
Stick the
mean,
key in something and twist.
Sure.
can you just imagine if we could like actually cast a curse or something onto them and get them back to the guards and just have them blow the shit up?
I mean,
Know
with
how
the
to
right
do
spell,
that?
I could curse some guards. But
I mean,
that's just rude.
I'm sure these keys could potentially be quite a bargaining tool if needed. If these are in
Well-
fact all magical keys, something tells me he doesn't want people to know he lost them and very much would like them back. I happened to
Well, I have
find
a
them on the
question.
beach after he assaulted me.
How are they safe from all the shit that's down here that we've run into?
I don't think
Why
most
would they
people
build a
just
town
go
on top
into
of
the
this?
sewers.
Maybe the tentacle creature is their sewage disposal system.
That creature is clearly too big to exit a manhole. Some of the rest of it, maybe not, but these are creatures that are at home in this area. It would not be. It would not be. There's not anything to motivate them to attempt to surface and attack the people outside the sewers.
Micro
So
ecosystem down here.
And
where else would they have built like paths on these sewers?
I imagine
They have significant plumbing. These should be going throughout most of the city. That's why I think this is a fine route into the fortress, if we are to go that way. As it is, I do not have much I can do from here casting spells through Foul to try to cause a stir up above. But I can do a little bit. Mostly we will need to get up and do things ourselves. If we wish to cause a stir out here.
you keep talking like they built this place down here.
Yes.
Why would they build this place? Why
Because
the
they
fuck
didn't
would
want
they
to
have these
have
creatures?
the creature's unsure, but
The creatures don't
people-
come with the sewers. All the poop
It's
up there
safe.
has to go somewhere.
And they'd rather not go and have to haul it out and deal with it themselves every day. So they build channels for it to remove itself from the area.
Then why the creatures?
Because the
Creatures find
creatures,
their ways here on their own.
they find their ways in and they grow here because they're safe. Because there's nothing here to stop them.
Who knows? Maybe they were even put here intentionally as a deterrent for anybody going through the sewers as a means of access.
You know,
Possible.
I am just going to look Stalker in the face and go, there are some kinds of migratory animals that do seek out these climates. It's hard to tell where they'll be, but sometimes you do find creatures like these roaming from sewer to sewer.
Why the fuck would they keep this under their city then?
Sorry, are you gonna
Because
roll a
it's more
deception check
convenient
on that?
than carting the waste themselves. The Once it's down here, it's not the people's problem. The creatures migrate here, they're here for a little bit of time, and then they go on to the next great sewer. They have a whole seasonal migration thing. It's crazy.
But the creatures eat things.
Yeah,
How
and
many things have we come across so far?
animals and stuff make their way down here, which provide them food until the animals realize they shouldn't come down here. And then that is when the seasonal shift happens and they head to the next sewer where things don't think about that.
Never flushed a goldfish?
I don't know what that means.
Do I need to roll a
I-
deception check, or is Stalker just taking this at face value?
This is her first interaction with a sewer ever. She is believing you 100%.
Mwah.
If I'm
Migratory
not mistaken,
poop monsters.
if I'm not mistaken, you guys are near the deep thick of the sewage, correct? Where you guys fought
I
the
think you
tentacle.
said we were an
We
hour
walked up
travel
and-
away from it.
Oh, yeah,
we
that's
walked
right.
up a
We're
channel
in like a
from
little
away from there.
alcove.
Okay, just want to make sure because like as you guys are like talking, y'all do hear like grumbling noises off in the distance, and y'all see like the sewage just like in the floor, just off to the side, just start kind of like rising a little bit.
Loop.
Ah, great.
As you just like off in the distance, just see like a mass amount of it just moving down the tunnel system. You guys are far enough up on the side, like it's not going to get y'all, but it's just like just a large rush of just as it
So
heads.
is that another creature, or is this like high tide?
It's just like tide essentially.
It's
like,
about an hour and a half after dinner. It's high tide.
pretty much.
This is a fine reminder that we are not safe to just sit and debate here. We need to make a decision and get moving.
So, what happens if the poop can't travel through here?
It backs up to where it came from. The
Could
tunnel
cause
will
them
fill.
distress in their plumbing, but that is a relatively long-term plan. That
I
would
am
be
fighting
not much
every
more than
urge to
distraction.
just keep adding on to this lie
Uh-huh.
about the sewage creatures, but I'm just going to leave it there.
What if we find more of these creatures and lure them up above?
This is
You,
their
like, leave a
habitat.
trail of poop for them to follow.
We might be able to drive them up if we frighten them. That still depends on the access points that we are going to attempt assaulting being big enough for these creatures to fit through.
I mean,
Encountered
if they're
relatively
not,
large things.
what stops us from smashing it open?
And we ourselves are there anyway, and we might as well simply be assaulting.
I mean, we don't have to stay there.
So we can drive sewer creatures up through the plumbing, destroy supplies out here, go up to attack ourselves. Any other ideas we wish to propose?
As a matter of fact, what if we just collapse some of this place so that whatever is above falls in?
Well, we are in here.
I mean, obviously,
We have
with an
spells at
escape route planned.
range. We do have ranged spells that could be used to trigger an explosion of some sort, or even something to just cause part of like the ground to collapse, because they're all underground. There's buildings, there's walls, there's other things on top. We can structurally damage things from down here.
You can. I do not wish to gamble my life on Kolvik architecture collapsing in a predictable way. But your blasts may be able to accomplish such a thing. That causes a distraction, but that does not cause a war as well.
I thought she was taking care of the war and just needed the distraction.
Now, D, I'm talking on this one. She asked y'all to start a war, not a distraction.
I asked her in character what that meant, and she said basically cause chaos, and I can handle it from there.
Yeah.
So that's what Saphira
Cause,
took away from that.
gotcha. Well, cause
She
chaos,
wants us
cause
to
war.
start the flames of war, so she has a reason to get sent over here to finish it. We need to cause
We need
enough of a ruckus.
We need
With a
reason
match,
for
she's the
hostilities
fan.
between Ashlyn and Kolvik.
Hmm.
Then I'm missing the point. There's already hostilities between them.
Well,
They've been attacking.
There's
more.
hostilities between the zombies, but
They need
They
to see
weren't zombies
military.
at the beginning.
mhm.
They were people at the beginning. The
And
zombies
those
only started recently.
those people were not directly Kolvik soldiers.
Mercenaries.
They were the mercenaries. There's no direct link. So they're keeping an eye on it, but they can't do anything.
We need to provoke military action.
Exactly.
So we can cause a massive distraction, collapse sewers, buildings, anything like that, but that does not fully accomplish our purpose. It could be a route to accomplishing our purpose if we need to get ourselves elsewhere, such
We need to
as
be within the
into the
city to be
fortress.
able. Do we need to be within the city at all to be able to cause this degree of chaos?
I'm open to suggestions.
What about other areas? Like, there's got to be things outside of just this city around here. Start civil unrest.
How long do you wish for this task to take
How
us?
many towers are on the river? How many of them could be burned down?
We just spent yesterday slogging through the sewers. We are here. Why were these ideas not brought up before we did that? We're in the middle of the city.
Um, well, at least for the sewer part, we were avoiding the guard from arresting all of us in the middle of the night.
Yes,
I'm gonna
I
say
mean,
at this point, Fida, you've got a voice in your head that essentially says, "Do I need to actually get involved in this conversation, or do you think you can actually handle it?"
Open to suggestions if you're willing to propose anything.
Do I need to be there in person?
Give me a moment. Okay,
You may
so Tobor would like to come and offer an opinion. Can he please not be attacked on sight?
Wait, I'm not finished preparing my spells. Give me like
I'm going to
a
throw
couple
you into.
minutes.
I'm going to Eldritch Blast you right back into the sewage lake. Thank you.
Uh huh.
If you attack him, understood?
If one of
I'm
them attacks, I
Emerald.
will put them in the
I'm
sewer
simply
myself.
going to draw my mace and just kind of put it on my lap. So it's glowing bright, but I'm not doing anything aggressive with it.
So, can we have a parlay here with no hostility?
I'm just not finding a good
Sure.
spell to get rid of in favor of banishment, but
If
it's
he
clear that we need
drops
banishment.
a demon on us in this place, I will break his neck.
He is not going to drop a demon.
Let's
He
just
wishes
see
to
what he
speak.
has to say.
I'm just saying.
Can we have?
All right.
I'm just
Thank
saying.
you.
I'm just saying, if one of them does attacks me, I will put them in the sewer myself.
I understand. I'm speaking this part directly to Toborov. I
If you can
understand.
hear us, Tobor, just show up. No one's gonna hit you. What do you have to say? I don't even
Okay,
know if
man.
you can hear me, but I'm gonna talk out loud and see what happens.
At this point, like a puff of mist, like just kind of like pops up in between all of y'all, looking directly at Emerald and says, "I may just put you in there just for the hell of it." No pun intended.
Uh,
So they've agreed to not attack you.
Figured
Please,
as such. He's just kind
what
of
do
like
you
looking
have to
at you.
say?
Y'all are going to be dumbasses if y'all decide to attack a place head on.
Who said anything about attacking head on?
That's
whole
been half this
conversation has-
conversation.
That's
This
been
We
whole
already
majority of
conversation
this
established we
has
can't do
conversation.
been,
that.
we will not do that.
I'm with her, and he just kind of like just kind of directs towards Veda and says, "Why not cause a distraction somewhere else? Then make your way over towards y'all's primary target that you would like to deal with." And it looks like it was more coordinated, which means there was planning involved, which means there's a little bit of sophistication in the actual aspect instead of just blowing something up and hoping for the best. Because winging it, and he just kind of like looks around where you guys are at, has gone swimmingly for y'all. Pun intended
And
for that.
yeah, it's been working out fine.
Yeah, minus the one that a point towards Vita almost drowned. Which I will
Nah,
say, I
I'd have
will
gotten
tell
her
you this
out.
right now. I would have gotten her out.
See,
When it
she
comes to
didn't
y'all's,
almost drown.
he just kind of like walks up closer to Saphira. When it comes to y'all's lives and hers, I will protect my interest. Be damned with
Good.
y'all. Y'all can die. I've got no issues. I protect the one that I've got here.
Well, you didn't do a very good job of it last night.
Anyways, so
Can
can we get back to
we
planning
Ada,
and
skip the
less
Ada,
less?
hostility?
hold it,
Can
hold it,
can we
hold
can we
it.
can we stop the posturing and find a way to get out of the sewer system, please?
Hobo at this point like turns towards Fees and says, "I'm going to do it."
Please don't.
Tobor, hi. Remember
Please
me?
don't.
Yeah, you
I'm
bolted me last time.
I'm trying to be very nice. The last time you showed up, you dropped a demon on us in the middle of our rest. Forgive us if we're
Yes.
a little wary, but we're trying to have a productive conversation. We're not trying to harm you.
I personally was going for entertainment purposes the last time I was here. Apparently, y'all didn't find it as such fun.
No, being on the receiving end of that is really that's not our idea of entertainment. That was lost in translation for Many.
I will say this, and then I'm gone. Because I do have important business to attend to. I recommend, and this is just my personal opinion, this matter, attack a target further away from the fortress, draw forces away, then move in if you wish. Using the system here.
Well, by that logic, if we go after their supplies outside of the fortress, it'll put stress on the ones in it. We can then go after the ones in it to get us an opening to go in through the main building.
Attack a couple of targets outside. There's been watchtowers all on the outside edge of
Because I
Kirov near the
do
river,
believe
which is what Vita pointed out.
Panathil said that there was
I
an armory or some kind of storage to the right
Very type thing. And a barracks.
of the
Why do we even need to attack the fort?
I mean, it's
And-
next to it. I mean, it doesn't necessarily stay attack the fort. It's more like a generalization. That's out of character, by the way. That's more of a generalization.
Lord, is Soren Revos here?
I have no clue. I would naturally suspect if the attacks are coming from here, most likely he's close by. Where exactly, I'm unaware of. I don't entirely worry about mortal affairs, minus a couple.
Well, that wasn't very helpful.
I'm sorry, I
Yeah.
can't be of that much help.
While he's talking, I'm just going to kind of reach to my side and unclip the skull from my belt. And I would like to determine a tail from the skull while he's talking.
Okay.
Because I can prime a tail on the skull. It's an action to use it.
What are you curious?
The Tales from Beyond, the feature for the Bard.
Okay.
So that is a D6. That is a... Cool. I have one of those for later.
Is that it? I
Yep.
was curious. Okay. I don't know if Soren Ravens is here. If I did, I would tell you. If I had a hunch, I would say he is.
Might I ask a favor? If you hear of the whereabouts of Soren Revos somehow in some ways, could you let me know? Please.
I have to mingle with the commoners.
You're currently standing in a sewer. This is a step up.
It could get a lot worse.
It could get a lot better.
I could have 2 Tanathils near me.
And your life will be that much better for it.
That's double the amount of eggs.
That's true.
Or do all
For
the
now.
eggs have to be split up?
Mm.
Or is it half the amount of
Um,
eggs?
Fine.
I
Because then
think
there's 2.
Tanathil would
Okay.
have eggs
My head
for
hurts.
himself.
Fine.
Before we keep talking in circles,
Hold
should
it.
we get out
Hold
of
it.
the sewer? And
I will do
Okay.
one thing. I'll do one thing. I will locate on whether or not Soren Ravens is actually here and where exactly he is.
Thank you.
But I get to do one thing. He grabs Emerald and poofs into the sewer and poofs back out. Emerald is just covered in
I
shit.
am punching him in the face immediately.
You're not close enough to do that because he poofs out.
I am
between two.
sprinting at him then and punching him in the face. That is hostile action.
let's get out of here.
Press to digitate. Prestidigitate. Prestidigitate all of Emerald.
Beta, you just get a like voice in your head. He's like, I think that was worth it.
A little pop-up appears at the top of the campaign. Emerald will remember this.
Well, his advice was lacking. He didn't really tell us anything we didn't already know, but hey, maybe he'll come through and give us this one piece of information.
Which
Maybe.
otherwise we had no way of finding. Mhm.
So, should we start away from the towers then, while he looks for information?
Who was that?
Ha! Right.
An
Oh,
asshole.
I'm sorry. He just popped up out of nowhere. DeFeiru, by the way, was watching all this from slightly in the background, just going through his rations and eating probably several days worth of rations, watching this all happen.
Oh,
He's just very confused.
So-
Like, who was this guy? Where did he come from? He just popped up out of nowhere, dunked him in sewage, and ran away.
I will be happy to explain that one to you on the way to our objective.
Quick story. He's a dick.
pretty much.
Is that the whole story?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
Pretty
a
much.
there's a lot more to it. I would not trust these two's opinion. They're a little biased.
I mean,
You're working for a demon.
I also get my powers from a
Biased.
demon. And I don't know, I have a way out of this.
I get my powers from a really good book, and he
can
doesn't try to kill people.
can we work our way out of the sewer?
Yes. Let's
Well, we need to stay in the sewer.
I think we should map out some of the sewer, find a way to get outside to the towers, because there has to be a let out somewhere that goes to the outside. If we can get out of there, get to some sort of shoreline or something, figure out where we are, where the towers are, take out a tower or two,
All right.
and then we can
Let's
find our way back in and cause some shenanigans in here.
let's expedite this process. Just appear foul in my hand. I'm going to send my familiar to map out the tunnels for us, so we can get an idea of what our options are.
I'm going to take out a piece of paper and draw out really quick the maps that we already like an idea of the mapping that we've already done. And I hope the Tanithil's going to relay information so that I can draw it out too.
So I will relay information. So I'll start sending foul just down each corridor I find, kind of make estimates of how far each one goes and its relation to the other corridors.
So are you wanting to find any corridors that go directly to where the beaches are again?
Oh, we know that.
Or
We
you
came
just
from there.
We
I
came
think
from inside the town. We were actually inside the city, if I remember correctly, or
yeah.
Yeah.
we didn't
So-
come from it.
so.
Fa-
A good distraction may be blasting apart a military outpost a few blocks away from the fortress at least. We want it close enough that the soldiers stationed at the fortress will feel it may be their duty to respond. If it's too far away, somebody else will take care of it. But far enough that it'll take them some time to do so. So 2 or 3 blocks, just kind of map out the very close areas near us and see if there's good targets above ground and good routes to get to them below ground.
Okay,
By the
but I
way-
have a question.
I have also a question as a DM.
Okay.
Tanithil,
Yes.
we kept the head of Caden Kursk.
Yes.
Is he still with you?
I'm pretty sure it's in the wagon.
Just wanting to
In
make
the
sure.
chest.
It is locked
I mean-
in the wagon.
Right, yes. He's got his
Just
arcane locked chest.
making sure.
Yes, I did not dispose of the head. We're going to ask more questions.
Eventually.
Worry not given. There will be many more corpse questions.
Oh, that skull is going to be really worse for the wear by the time we get back to it.
So you're casting foul again, correct? To
Yeah.
mapping out.
I'll send
Okay.
him out first to map out the like tunnels, the sewer tunnels near us in like a 3-block radius.
Okay, and if also not mistaken, y'all have the lizard body, correct?
Did somebody bring a lizard body?
Uh,
We
no,
swam
we
for a long
had
time.
DeFero's skill running.
Yeah, no, it's dead again. It's probably just outside our
yes.
little bubble here.
I need a wisdom save from. Oh wait, you're still in the bubble, correct?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean
Unless
we
we
got
started
4 hours
looking
after our rest to still be in the bubble.
Okay, just wanted to check.
Do you have control over it anymore, or is it just a dead corpse at this point?
Oh, it's just a corpse again at this point.
Okay.
Okay, so
It's
cast foul. As foul is navigating the tunnels, you find multiple towers, outposts, barrack locations within the city, all strewn throughout. So if you go to the actual map,
Visuals.
all right. Going to do freehand here. Wherever I put X, there's something along those lines there, okay?
Okay.
So
Where
these are
are
with
we?
And so the lovely people in chat can see this. I'm going to bring us over to this window.
y'all are there. Red circle.
Okay.
Yeah.
This would
Yep, that red circle. Wherever there's an X, there's something something phonics is hard. Something military. Okay. Now there's also like etchings. You see these etchings right here in like the map? Those are like watchtower locations along the walls on the outside of Kiro. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now these are the vicinity areas of watchtowers, barracks, depot armor spots. It covers the city quite a bit. There's quite a few. There's not just one single one.
All right. And can we get a good route to get very close to, say, this military installation on the top of the D?
Yes.
If we can get to there, that seems like it's a, a good distance from the. Oh, man, according to Trail's arrow, it's only
It's
10 feet away.
it's I forgot to put the actual distance.
This is a very small
Bite
fort.
me? Right? All right.
What
So
is this, a house
that
for ants?
That
It's
looks
a
like a
fort
good
So-
distance to be both close enough that soldiers stationed at the fortress would feel it's their duty to respond, and far enough
th-
that it'll take them some time. And
by the way, I would say it would take you about 2 hours to actually map all this out
fair,
with how fast Foul can move.
right?
In the meantime, if I'm not mistaken, you're focused on doing that, correct? Like you're actually looking through Foul and checking stuff, correct?
Yes, I'm deaf and blind to my own senses while I'm looking through Foul's eyes.
So you would be constant, like essentially, like using magic, correct? Like
Yes.
not using magic, but I need a wisdom save from DeFeru.
Ooh, okay.
What?
What? Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
That's a
Ooh.
4.
DeFeru,
Oh no.
as Tanithil is mapping this out, I need
I'm also right
also
beside him because I'm dictating. He's dictating to me.
right. So I need Emerald and Saphira to roll perception.
Oogie.
And I need you to roll stealth or performance, whichever you would prefer.
Me?
Oh man.
Yes, DeFeru.
Okay.
Starts
I get
juggling menacingly.
advantage on stealth stuff.
Damn it,
16.
Aaron. Just
Ooh.
Defeiru just blending into the background, just like juggling rocks quietly to themselves. That is a dirty 20. 7, 7 plus 13.
It's a 26.
Deferu,
No.
as Tanithil is looking through the eyes of Fowl and mapping this out, his concentration on the arcane brings a sense of hunger to you.
Oh, DeFeru's been hungry all morning.
As he just is focusing, you're sweating. You're just eyeballing in his direction. Just eyeballing in his direction. The urge is strong, but you are holding it as best you can.
Little bit of drool coming out of my pincers.
The desire to consume, for some reason, is just building
Driving me.
inside you, is driving you
Okay.
for those 2 hours. You eventually control it, but your eyes are dilated, you're sweating, you're fidgeting, but you're able to pass it off.
I just keep pulling
As
different
nerves.
toys out of my my bag and messing with them for a little bit, getting bored, putting it back and grabbing something else, hoping to distract myself.
But as time goes on, things relax.
If you eat me, I'm going to be very upset with you.
I did probably lurk up behind you for just a moment, like shell shadowed to be the same color as everything else that we're around right now. Just kind of crept up. No, okay. Decided
And the final
against it.
thing,
Good.
though. For a moment, you saw red. And that is all.
When I saw red, just a flash of red kind of waved over my shell.
Yeah, for you.
None
one
of us
else.
saw
No
it.
one saw that.
Oh, okay.
Yep. I'm busy trying to get the smell out of my beard very poorly.
Yeah.
But yes, you navigate and map out the tunnels there, Tanithil.
All right. So, is everyone in agreement now? We have a tactical location to assault, and then use that as a first stage distraction to make our way and see what kind of mess we can cause in the fortress.
Sounds like a good plan to me. A lot better than popping up in the middle of the fort.
All right.
Right.
How long is your patron going to be? Because it would be nice to have this singular bit of knowledge we requested.
Didn't realize Tobo ran on your schedule. I can ask.
I think we all have a schedule here.
Tobor, might I ask, how is it coming along?
Does Tanithil think I run on his schedule?
I am
I hear
very
he's being-
heavily going to sigh while you're.
You don't know
trying
what
to-
he says.
I know, no. Knowing Fita's trying to reach out, I'm going to heavily sigh. I appreciate that you're looking into this for us. I will not shoot you when you come back with information as a thank you.
Someone's
To answer
spirit
your
get
question
broken
there,
by being
Fita,
thrown
I at
into
least know
sewage.
that he's in the city. Where at, I'm not sure. Give
Say
me
again.
a moment.
Can you repeat that to Trail? I didn't hear the first part of it.
Oh, I was going to act like he was just like Topor. Don't know. He said that he knows that he's in the city. Where at exactly, he's not sure.
All right, thank you. So Sergeant Revos is in the city somewhere. He's not been able to ascertain where.
All right. Your patron has given us slightly less information than what a 4th level spell is capable of. Anyway,
Look, you're
Well,
capable of casting 4th level spells, you know?
I certainly am. Half of them are dedicated to keeping him from dropping demons on us.
Like that would just me.
Give me
So,
woeful. Never mind.
let's make our way to our little watch post there and see about causing a bit of a stir. Your
Alright.
control flames, you can expand flames with that, correct?
Yes, I can.
We definitely want a large distraction, so maybe we light something up and make it a significant threat.
Hmm? So it's I can expand flames like about 5 feet in one direction, provided there's some sort of fuel in the next location, like wood or something.
Buildings.
Mhm. Um, I can start fires with though this fantastic skill called prestidigitation.
I'm going to start it with fire bolts, slightly
I
more
have
than candle light, but you do you.
you can instantly light or snuff out a candle, a torch, or a small campfire.
Yes.
What?
Have the equivalent of a flint and steel.
I also have firebolt, so
All right.
can we stop measuring each other's spells?
Ah, no.
he's just bitter because he doesn't have anyone to talk to. His bird doesn't talk back.
That would be weird. Let's head
So y'all are,
north.
Let's go.
Yes, you're both
and with
beautiful spellcasters.
and with that, we're gonna take a break here. Give us about 10 minutes. We're back with some more Varinheim. welcome back. I have a cat. Anyway, that being said, you guys are headed out, if I'm not mistaken, to go deal with a position.
Yep, we've got the circled position on the map. We're gonna try and light it up.
We're heading to the
Yeah, it only
football.
right. It only takes y'all like 20 minutes to get there. 20, 30 minutes at most. It's still roughly around 10 in the morning. Okay. Fida, you actually hear Tobor tell you, he's like, I'm letting you know, he is inside the fortress. Just so you're aware. Currently, third floor.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And
I'm
he
going
moves
back
it
to what I was
around. Okay. Thank you.
doing.
You want to share that information with the class?
Not right now.
Y'all have no idea.
Fida's like, this is going to stop a fight next time he shows up.
All right. So, what kind of military installation do we have here?
So, as you guys are making your way through the tunnel system, eventually you find a ladder up to a manhole system that you're able to kind of crawl out of. I'm pretty sure you guys are wanting to be stealthy.
Well, what are we getting ourselves into?
We'd like to
You
look
have
around if possible before we do this.
Keep sending
okay.
Fowl to
So
scout out.
true. I didn't think about whether or not you actually had them scout outside the system or inside the system.
Well, that's how we have all these X's on the map.
True.
It's from scouting
So
outside.
that my bad. I'm stupid at times. So
Went with scouting out the sewer tunnels first and then the surface to line things up and find good targets.
right.
What is this one?
It is a tower, guard tower to be exact, with a building off to the left hand side. So the guard tower essentially, if you zoom in, and I'm gonna erase this if y'all don't mind, delete, and then
We know
freehand.
where it's at.
I know where it's at. Guard tower is over here, and then there is a barracks building. Words are hard. Off
Trail,
to the side.
can I bother you to use a different color that happens to fall very squarely in the things I cannot see very well?
Fuck you.
Are you adding to the map right now?
I'll be honest, that falls in the range that I can see, and I can barely see it.
How's that?
I mean, black
Black circles
works.
just showed up. Yeah.
Like, I
Okay,
could
how about
barely
this?
see them on the map. Just
How's this? The red.
yeah.
Well,
How's that?
Yellows and
Yeah.
greens I have some trouble with, and that one just happened to be like smack on where it needed to be.
There's a guard tower on one side of the road, and then
Okay.
across it, there's a barracks building. It's large enough, from what you guys were able to tell, to probably house a good 50 to 100 soldiers. It's large.
Where's our
That is a
manhole
large
exit
one.
in relation to these?
The manhole exit is right here.
Okay. What's the range on your control flames?
It is. That is Discord. That is not what I need. 60 foot.
Is that
I would
within
s-
60 feet?
I would say it's about 120 feet away.
Alright, so we can firebolt it, but we'll need to get closer in order to expand the flames. Well, wait, do you have invisibility, Fida?
I do not. I'd like to figure it out, but I have not been able to.
Well, you do lose it if you cast a spell. I only have the one shot at it, and it sure is fun for using it to stab people effectively, but I could put a greater invisibility on you, allowing you to run out there, control flames several times, and expand this into a very difficult fire to manage, and then run on back. That'll give you a minute to do so. How do you feel about that?
We can absolutely do that, then I just stay invisible the entire time.
Right. To save your actions, I will start fires with my firebolts from the manhole, and then you can expand them. That also means no rays of fire will be coming from your position, nothing to give you away.
Mhm.
After that, the rest of us just need to
Can you
run.
cast them with foul at all?
No, it can only cast touch spells, unfortunately.
Hmm. All right.
I can put invisibility on you with foul, but that's not particularly important.
Yes, I feel like we'd lose something with that. Okay.
Yes, I don't have many spells that I can cast through foul. That has not been a priority for me.
Yeah.
But if that is good for you, then I think our plan will be the two of us get to the top of the ladder. I slap invisibility on you, you run for it to get in range, then I will start firing bolts to start our fires on the barracks and the guard tower. You expand each of those a few times and run on back. And everyone then navigates through the sewer tunnels back to the fortress.
Sounds like a plan.
All right then. So
So
that's what we'll do.
Vita has to get up outside of the. If I'm not mistaken, you're going to cast invisibility though first.
I will
Is he gonna?
cast greater invisibility on her as she is leaving the manhole.
Okay. And then you're going to get up just outside the manhole to fire firebolt.
I'm gonna shoot from like right under it. I'll just lift it up a little bit and shoot out,
Okay.
with the buildings being within my range.
All right. So if I'm not mistaken, the light will come down through the manhole, correct?
Yeah, so the firebolt hurls a mote of fire at the object within range, so it will be coming from me.
You
I
mean
need
sunlight?
emerald.
What?
You mean sunlight will or?
No, the fire light.
Oh,
No,
okay.
I'm talking about sunlight's going to kind of
Oh,
peer through the manhole a little bit, correct?
yes, a
And
little bit.
shine down in the area and lighten up the area some.
When
Yes.
the thing is open and I'm invisible climbing out, yes.
Right.
Yeah, we need a person-sized gap in there.
Okay, I need Emerald and Saphira to roll perception.
It's a natural 20. 26.
Not a natural 20, but also a 26.
Well,
Okay.
That was a
Y'all
19
both,
plus 7.
y'all both as Tanithil moves the manhole cover so Fida can get up and out with invisibility and kind of uses it to cast firebolt. Y'all see Deferu's shadows move at the corner of your eye briefly before like looking over and it instantly comes standstill like regular
Clarification,
shadows.
did you say shadows? Teferu has
Shadow.
multiple?
Shadow, sorry.
Okay.
His shadow
Multiple,
is
like,
moving.
what
versus
you took from
maybe.
that?
I was,
Sorry.
you know, I would be just as concerned about him having suddenly multiple shadows as them moving in my peripheral.
As the person who dealt with a coven of hags that were in one being at one point, yeah.
Anyway, that being said,
Ugh.
you cast firebolt. I would like you to at least roll an attack.
Yeah, I'll roll some attack rolls. I want to throw out a handful of these. I'll do like 5 of them
Okay. I need
to
attack rolls for
start some
each.
different fires. 17, 15, 23, 18, 16. All right.
They all hit you.
Just like
Like you
3 to
hit
the
the
barracks,
guard.
2 to the tower.
And as
Yep.
soon as the first one hits, I'm going to start expanding it.
Yep. They quickly just start just expanding rather rapidly.
Supernaturally so.
Well, she's doing control flames.
Yes. That's what I'm
So-
saying.
Oh, okay. Sorry. So she just starts growing it. Pretty soon, the tower just is starting to become engulfed along with the barracks. You're hearing people just start screaming, "Ah! Bring pails of water, quick!" And just you start seeing people starting to panic as you're kind of making your way back down to the manhole cover. You hear one go, "Hey, was there ammunition inside that guard tower? Quick, empty it! There's an
That's
inn
gonna
next
go
to it."
up.
You just hear him say, "There's citizens behind that guard tower in the inn. Get rid of it." As
Uh-oh.
as you climb down the manhole cover, y'all hear just a loud explosion just rock the top. The actual tunnel system that y'all are in shakes violently.
Hmm.
As y'all then hear just a followed by other buildings just collapsing. The tunnel system just shakes for like a good, I would say, good 15-30 seconds.
We may have just killed a lot of innocent people.
You know,
Well,
we
You
exploded
killed a
something
lot of
very-
his innocent people.
I'm
it's
saying we
certainly
talking
something
to
to
Fida.
ponder over.
This
Can
is
I
a joint
help?
effort between the two of us.
Tanithel,
Uh-huh.
I just heard back from Tobor.
Oh yeah?
Certain Revos is in the is in the fortress, third floor.
Okay. Let's go. Let's run on through the sewers. And maybe kill some not so innocent people.
One of those was a barracks, thank you.
Yeah, but other people.
It feels like I feel like an ass.
It seemed like
Anyway.
a great idea.
I mean, Tanithil probably also assumed they were smart enough not to store powder for cannons in
I never
flammable locations.
specified. I never specified powder.
It was ammunition.
You said
of some sort.
ammunition, which would
Of
mean
sort.
powder or
It could
something
be
for
magical
cannons
means.
and stuff.
Who knows? It could have been fertilizer.
Regardless, you wouldn't store it somewhere that is flammable if you were
I
smart.
mean, it
It
might
could've
have
been-
had
Wait,
protection.
who
We
is-
just caused a sudden massive fire there.
It could have been like containers of like wildfire and stuff like that, or like
Mhm.
all sorts of just like flammable jars of liquid that now
We're
are
in the
going.
magical world of D&D. It could have been a whole keep of bomb keys.
Spunkies.
Exactly.
Ah, you got your bomb keys.
We found the stash.
Chemical liquids.
That is now gone. No.
Yeah.
As you guys quickly make y'all's way to
Away from there.
away from there, back to where y'all were. I do want athletics checks from everybody.
I'm
Because y'all
politely
running or y'all just walking quickly.
I mean, we're gonna
I'm-
run.
politely gonna ask if someone can give me a disc to get on, simply because the sludge is taller than me. Or
That would have been a wonderful thing to ask before this, but that takes 10 minutes to cast.
Stalker,
I'm just gonna pick you the
deep
fuck
is
up.
The sludge here?
Roll
Stalker, I
strength.
need assistance.
Lassie
How deep is the
Stones.
sludge?
More than my height.
That's
And-
okay, because my strength is real high. That's a. Did you say strength or athletics?
Athletics. Or strength for Emerald.
For,
Athletics.
yeah.
Yeah.
23 for Emerald for strength.
Okay.
Um,
And
13.
I'm
I
gonna
don't
say
remember what my athletics was, so.
I would like an athletics with disadvantage that you're carrying Emerald. Who's got
Oh.
armor and everything on.
That was
and
nat 20.
for DeFeru, we know it's deeper than 12. Where the the Poop Cthulhu was. For at least that section, it's deeper than 12.
Oh, that was very deep.
Okay.
We were swimming
Yeah.
down like
You
40
can't
feet.
swim.
I was dragged down to 50 feet.
I got a
Athletics
wonderful 8
is-
athletics.
16 for athletics with him.
All right, so Tanthil is an 8.
Yes.
Teferu, what are you?
I got a 14 on my athletics.
Juju,
16.
what'd you get? 16. Fida, what'd you get?
N.
All right. As you guys bolt, who's behind Tanithil?
Given that I'm doing the worst, probably no one.
Okay.
Given that both Tanithil and I were up on the ladder, it's probably me.
I want you to roll a dex check.
That is a 16 dex check.
All right. As Tanithil is bolting in front of you, just running, at one point you see him just kind of slip and slide in the sewer system, and just you see him just off to the side. His bottom half like falls kind of into the sewer system as like you kind of like grab and snatch him, kind of dragging him back onto the edge so he can just kind of like get himself picked up and back rolling again. His bottom half is just covered in sludge.
Deal with that after.
Thank you.
Y'all make y'all's way back to where y'all were underneath near the fortress, just a little bit of distance away, but y'all are back where y'all were.
All right. How are things looking up there now?
Using foul or
Yeah, I'll
peeking?
use foul. That's
Can we
Okay.
hear anything?
Just
Can
listen.
we
Y'all
hear
can
anything
hear roll perceptions. If y'all want to try and hear. Roll perceptions.
soft 20.
That is a
Dirty, nasty little 20.
Oh, that's a dirty 10.
19 plus 6 for 25.
21.
Okay.
I'm being carried. I
think
can't
all-
hear shit.
Perception, right?
Yeah. I think the only one that can't hear is Emerald.
Like clinging to the ledge on the wall.
You guys hear a lot of movement from what you can tell up above. It sounds like there's a lot of commotion going on. I need perception roll from Foul.
All right. So I'm looking through its eyes. So I'll do the perception
Okay.
for what I'm getting. 17.
Right. As Foul is flying over, you can see that a lot of soldiers have begun to kind of move away from the actual fortress. Can Foul hear for you or just see?
I believe I hear through it as well.
Find
Yeah.
out for me.
Sight and sound.
Yeah. Yes, I hear what it hears.
At one point, Fowl kind of flies low and listens for just a brief moment. You hear him say, "It looks like about 3 or 4 dozen citizens were injured. Quite a few men and women." You hear another word added to that, but it's kind of missed. But he says it looks like we've got about 100 soldiers currently digging people out of the rubble. But like, damn it.
We caused too good of a distraction.
If I'm not mistaken, we've got some more soldiers on that route. We don't know if it was sabotage or what's happened. We had enchantments to prevent such catastrophes from occurring. Can anyone ask if the lieutenant can spare some extra men? And you just hear like these guys talking as they're running in that direction. There's still probably a good 100 or so people still at the fortress on the outer edge, but there's a lot more leaving than what there previously was.
Right.
The barracks area where you got off to the right hand side of the fortress is more open than what it was previously. Okay, the fortress stuff still looks pretty heavily. Actually, the fortress part itself possibly has more guards than what there was earlier. The barracks seems to be opened. The armory seems to be opened up. It looks like people are more massing together towards the fortress area and then towards that, where you guys cause a distraction. So on the outer edges of this fortress area, essentially. So if we were to, I'm going to go to the map here for you guys. Essentially, the main fortress area is right here. Off to the side here, and then off to the side here. Essentially, there's a barracks here and an armory here. These have opened up. This has become more centralized with troops. Okay.
Okay. But these are inside the wall, so I'm only really getting that from looking through Fowl's eyes.
Correct. Your job, it has done some of the work. They are walking.
Right. Well, the fortress proper is getting more reinforced, but some of the rest of things are opening up. We may have a shot at lighting up their armory, seeing if there might be more explosives and such in there. Though we may have made it more difficult for ourselves to get into the fortress itself. Thoughts?
I think taking out that armory is a good idea. I don't know if we're going to get a chance to get Sword and Barevos, but honestly, let's cripple them if we can.
Yeah, it's not looking great. All right, can we get under the armory through the sewer system?
You can get to the outside edge, but
Okay.
not inside.
Outside the wall or inside the wall?
Outside the wall. Essentially, you would be here.
It's something. The wall's what, 20 feet high?
Yes.
Got any teleportation, Fida?
I do have Misty Step.
Well, we won't be stealthy at all, but the two of us could poof ourselves up on top of the wall, do the same thing, and then get the hell out of here. What with the outside of the fortress not being nearly as well guarded,
Can
we
you cause
just might.
invisibility on us again? At all?
No, I neglected the lower level spell in favor of the higher one, and I only have one use of that.
Enough.
A lower level one would disappear the moment we start casting anyway.
I can cast Pass Without a Trace on you guys.
That will help our standard stealth, so long as you stay close to us, stay near the top of the ladder, under the manhole.
Do that.
So that's what, a 30-foot radius around you?
Yes.
Okay, so that could benefit us on the wall. Yes, I'd appreciate that, though at least in my regard, I'm going to be sending out fire and light from my position. I won't be particularly stealthy.
If it was night, I could make it just straight darkness, but you wouldn't be able to see that I could do it myself.
Yes. I think we have a good shot at this. I will cause several flames for you to expand, and then we get out of there as quickly as we can. You could still cause the darkness. We're going
That's
to
what
be
I'm.
obvious.
What if I caused a dark sphere somewhere else, and as more of a distraction from our exact point?
Good. You can see through the darkness, right? Or
I
not
can.
yet? Yeah, you
I
can.
can.
Okay. And you need to see to control flames.
Yes.
I do not need to see to shoot my firebolts, and especially firing at a building I'm sure I can hit.
the term "can't hit the broadside of a barn" comes to
Right.
mind.
I think I can hit a building whether I can see it or not if I have a general idea of where it is. So if we go up there, I am thinking using it as cover for us, because we're going to be obvious anyway. This way, it will be much more difficult for them to harm us. I don't need to see you do. It should work out. All right.
What am I casting it on then? Directly on us or on the wall itself?
You can put it on. Well, no, we need to see to teleport. You'll need to do it after at least I get there. Or no, you can't put it on something of. You can put it on something of mine if I cover it, and then I can uncover it when we get up there.
Yes.
Or on something of yours, just so long as I can see to teleport.
You have an egg?
No, we were in the sewers. Why do you
You
hurt me
just
so?
put it under your hat.
Yes, we can put something under my hat.
I figured an egg would be a good
Just
thing.
starting to get along.
um,
We can put it on a silver piece and hide it under
yeah,
my hat.
here's a copper coin.
Okay. Place the darkness on it. I will cover it and uncover it once we arrive on the wall. That way we
Right.
instantaneously have darkness and can start our fires.
All right. Are you casting your pass with trace?
Pass without trace, please. I would
Without
not like
trace,
to
yes.
pass with trace. That is the opposite of what
Cast
I want to
fairy lights on you guys.
do. Thank you. Then let's go. Both count off a misty step.
Right.
So y'all are, if I'm not mistaken, casting Pass Without Trace to get above the manhole, correct?
The Pharaoh has the pass without trace, and we just have
Okay.
to be within 30 feet of him. So he can stay below the manhole.
Right. So then y'all are using Misty
Misty
Step to get on
Step.
top of the wall.
Right.
Correct.
So
Yep.
we need to just crack the manhole open just a little bit to see out of it. We don't need any significant gap.
I do need a stealth check.
All right. Happily. That is, with the pass without trace, a 25.
That is with pass without trace a 28. 29.
Y'all crack that manhole and just use Misty Step to right on top of the wall. If I'm not mistaken, Fida, you're casting darkness as soon as you get up there?
Nope.
We've got it
It's
already.
Okay.
It's been cast on a coin already.
Okay.
So upon getting up there, seeing with my own eyes where the building is so I have a general line to be pointing, then I will uncover it so that now we are in darkness.
As you guys right on top, okay, I need perception roll from Fida. Because I'm pretty sure Tanithil, you're distracted looking for, like, to pay attention where the building is, correct?
Yeah, I locate the building and then immediately blind myself, so I'm not perceiving anything.
We said that was perception. That's a 17 plus 6 or 23.
As soon as you guys right on top of the building, okay, Tanithil, you remember when Fowl was flying through the fortress and everything? Somehow the guards would instantly lock eyes with somebody that got just a little too close to the fortress.
Right, they have some magical perceptive abilities.
Yeah. Fida, as you kind of like look for a brief moment around, you notice that instantly a couple of guards are just probably about 60 to 90 feet away from you guys automatically just turn and look in y'all's direction as Tanithil is like kind of zoning in real quick on the building and goes to cover.
I know we're
You
here.
it's Yep, like 4 or 5 guards automatically just start tapping and just point in that direction. Automatically 4 bows just in y'all's direction, just start firing in y'all's direction. I'm gonna roll attack rolls for these guys, okay?
Okay, well, you want to roll with disadvantage?
Yeah, they will. They're disadvantaged. Uh,
We knew
Yeah.
they were gonna know we're here.
So 18, 9, 14, and 5. Yes. Uh, who is on the right hand side? Would it be Fida? Where are you in
Sure.
relation to Tanafil
Sure.
on the wall? Are you up there with him or are you down on the
Yep.
ground? Okay,
I'm
so I
up
need
there
to
with
know.
him.
Teleported up together.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So are you to his right or are you to his left? I need to know.
I'm to his right.
Okay. So then that bolt is going to hit you. That one in particular. Okay.
Okay. What was the damage on that one?
18.
Or not the damage, the attack roll on that one?
It was an 18 to hit.
Shield.
Yep. Shield.
All right. Like as soon as you just more arrows just flying at you guys, just right through y'all. It's just Panther, you're feeling the wind of these arrows just go right by your face. I need you to roll attack roll
Yep.
on your attacks. I want how many are you doing?
Is the
4,
darkness
5?
visible now? Or have you dropped the or
Yeah, the
made the
darkness should
darkness?
be uncovered.
Okay.
Right. How many
So,
bolts are you doing?
I mean, do you want us like in an initiative order,
No.
or just
Don't worry about
shooting
that.
out? Yeah,
Yep.
I'll just shoot out like 4 bolts, just disperse across the building. Looks like it's a pretty big building.
Okay. So do 4 shots.
Would you like me to roll these with disadvantage, with me being blinded, though I am shooting at a
Yes.
building?
A
Yes,
gigantic
disadvantage.
building.
A 19, a nat 1, a 13, and a 10.
All right. So as you're like firing shots, at one point you can hear like one of your shots like hit something in particular. You're not sure, but you hear just like a crumbling sound. You can't see it. Beta, you can. Off to the left hand side of that armory building that he was aiming at was a bunch of crates, and just kind of off to the left, he's hit it, and you can see that they're already like starting to crackle and everything. And
Get munitions.
yep,
Perfect.
as
Time to go.
you're
Get down.
probably
Go. Go.
yep,
Go. Go. Go.
you're probably only about 60 feet away. I need deck saves from both of y'all, or nope, y'all jumping down, correct? Or Missy Step.
Yeah, let's
What are y'all doing?
teleport down. Just get out of there.
All right, so y'all are teleporting back down.
Yeah.
All right, so
I say
as y'all,
throw the darkness coin out there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I
Right
guess
over
just a
over top
random
and
throw it
bubble of
back behind
darkness.
as we
I
teleport
was
down.
figuring getting to it.
There we go. Yeah. So throw the darkness coin over the wall onto the armory. Just see where that happens to fall, so that then
I
we can
need,
teleport out.
all right, then I need a just a regular D20 roll with your decks.
One dexterity check with a nat 20.
Nice. So
That was a 15 total.
23.
you just throw the coin, it just lands directly where the armory is as you guys tell Misty step into the sewer system. As y'all land and that manhole covers, y'all hear just an explosion rock,
I'm gonna
which
when
is
we get down there, it's just gonna
smaller,
be run.
which
Yeah.
is smaller than the second explosion that instantly follows behind it.
We seem to have set
They
off
all
multiple things.
Mhm.
you hit crates next to the armory. Yeah, of
Yep.
course. So
Set off
y'all
everything
hear
in the armory.
that just echoes throughout the building. The wall that was next to it just erupts. The explosion just heads in y'all's direction at the sewer system, and just y'all look up as y'all notice that the roof starts crumbling.
Run.
I need athletics from everybody.
So we're on like walkways beside the sewage, right?
Correct.
Okay. So I'm gonna
It's
just
just slippery.
cast Phantom Steed because I don't want to deal with this.
Okay. I don't
Do
think
I
everybody would
have
get on fantasy.
At this
disadvantage
point-
because I'm being carried?
You're essentially on
Yeah.
my shoulders at this
You
point,
don't
if
have
you're
to
okay
roll,
with
do you?
You don't have to roll.
it.
If anyone else
Saphira's
starts
gotta
looking
roll
badly,
at
I can't put out
Stalker,
new
you
skills.
have guidance. Boop, boop, boop
Oh,
on your
cool.
head. You have guidance.
This is a D4, right?
I have a 15 total
D4.
for athletics.
How much?
Oh, shit.
I have a 15 total.
15.
Yeah.
23.
Well, that bumped me above 20, Otter. That's a 22.
So 22. What'd you roll there, Zara?
23 natural 20.
Canathil?
Do you want me to roll? I am riding my horse.
Your horse is running.
Yes.
In a sewer system with sludge, it makes this really slippery to move.
That's why
You're
I asked
also-
if like we're on a walkway.
Yeah, it's a walkway, but it's slippery.
I can roll dex for the horse if you like.
Go for it.
I don't know what it's plus, but we're gonna just roll a 20 and get a 14 and maybe add something to that.
Needs something higher than a 15.
Okay. Please
So
tell me
what is this
horses are
plus?
dexy. I do have the inspiration. Let's see if horses are dexy first.
What'd you roll there, Fita?
15 total.
Everyone bolts past Fita as like you're just kind of like following behind them. Rocks just falling. The sewer system is caving inwards in y'all's direction as it's going. Y'all are noticing chunks of the wall are essentially opening up the sewer system as y'all are now like seeing light come in. Off in the distance, the sewer system is like collapsing also in front of y'all as y'all kind of move and then book it down a path to the right hand side that looks to be a little bit more sturdier than the rest. Fida, as they're running, the rocks just land in front of you, cutting off your direction from
Seems
everybody
like a fun time
else.
for a luck point.
Yeah.
That does seem like a fun ever luck point.
You,
Don't we all
need it.
have a point of luck?
We
I think
do.
y'all do. I don't know exactly. What does luck do exactly?
Gives
She
you a
can reroll.
reroll.
You want to
Yep.
re-roll?
I'm gonna try a reroll on this one, and
You
if
got
I
the
need,
inspiration.
Given
Yep.
gave each of us a point of luck earlier. Right
I
as
did need to
right
use
as we
my
hit
inspiration
break.
for the horse.
and the inspiration. That is a dirty 20.
Yay.
As you're running, that rock just lands right in front of you. Rock just landing all around you. As like you kind of like try and bolt off to a different direction where everybody else has like been able to go past you and to the right. Like you try to go right as well, but the rock's just collapsing on your side and then wraps around in front. As you look up, a rock just starts coming straight down. As instantly someone grabs you by the back of the collar and just poofs. And you land where the group ends up. You guys bolt right. You find yourselves where a manhole is just above. The entrance that you guys got here is collapsed. Vita just pops directly in front of you.
I'm
You
just gonna
can
whisper,
hear.
"Thank you."
You're welcome.
Hey, that's cheating.
Billboard just poofs
Uh-huh.
out.
Alright then. Shall we?
But as y'all look around, y'all notice that y'all are area that you guys are at is trapped. y'all can't go back the direction. The rocks have caved in this section. The manhole up is accessible.
All right then.
We need to go.
Yes.
So we're between dead ends with a
Yes,
manhole.
essentially, if I was to,
I'm
Boing.
just double checking, make
Yeah.
sure both
We just
sides
need
Yeah.
are
to climb up.
closed.
like
Yeah.
here's the manhole, like manhole's right here. This is all blocked off.
Yeah.
Okay.
And let's make our way out of here.
Mm.
We may be able to simply slip out in the chaos.
Can you make us not look like ourselves?
Uh,
I mean, I
Make
can
us look
already
human.
do that for myself.
Make us look human. Or something that's not elf.
yeah.
No
So
prominent horns.
the people here are human, right? And they just hate
Yes.
all the rest of us.
Like
Literally
99% of
every
them
one
are
of us.
human.
Okay. So I'll just cast a major image on us, just make us look like scrambling people trying to escape explosions. Scrambling humans trying to escape explosions.
Work with it, Teferu. We'll talk after.
It's a little weird, but you get used to it.
Let's climb up out of the manhole. I'll just like
How
have
long does that
illusion of
last,
manhole.
by the way?
Major image lasts concentration up to 10 minutes.
Okay.
Give us some time to run out of here.
Okay. As you guys climb up manhole, there's a plume of smoke towards where the fortress was that is ginormous. Part of the wall of the fortress is made it to where you guys are currently at, just off to y'all's right.
I wonder if our good necromancer friend is even still alive. that was quite the explosion.
We'll watch for undead.
Yeah.
As you guys are kind of scanning really quick, people are running all over the place. Soldiers are running towards the fortress at this point. Y'all can see the plume of smoke and cloud of debris that was where y'all first originated off to the side is still there, but not as prominent as the one that y'all just created. Soldiers are scattering all over the place. Citizens are coughing. You see people carrying dead civilians away from where y'all just kind of caused mayhem, chaos.
Well,
Sounds like a
Buildings
little
are
bedlam.
let's book it for the boat.
as y'all begin running. Are y'all gonna pay it like are y'all gonna try and keep it tabs on how long that 10 minutes is, or y'all
I mean, I assume we're just trying to get there quick. Pop out of the sewers, quick look around, and go.
okay.
Yeah, if
Panathil will know when the spell's gonna end.
if it ends, I can cast it again.
While
As
I'm
you
holding
guys
on, riding piggyback, I will keep a head on a swivel just to see if anyone's chasing us or anything.
as you guys are running, okay. At one point, y'all see a bunch of like soldiers heading in y'all's direction. As they're getting closer, you just see them just go, "Halt! Excuse us!" And just, as you guys are running away from everything, like they just kind of put their arms out and they're just like, "Halt!" and just kind of try to get y'all to stop. Are you going to keep going, or y'all going to actually stop trying to have a conversation real quick?
I'm gonna keep running, but I'll have the illusion stop and just like chat with them.
Oh yeah, that's right. You can do that with major image, can't you?
I don't have to keep moving it.
Fantastic.
True.
The fleeing people stop, but I don't have it programmed to say anything interesting, so they're not gonna be able to talk very well, and they'll just stop and hang out for a bit. Let the guards be confused.
All right. So
They
as
just
like they try and
become
like
mimes.
Uh-huh.
you can hear the guards instantly like ask the question, like, where are y'all running from? Were y'all at the explosion near the fortress or the guard tower? And like you just try to get some information from the image, which it's not going to
Has
say anything. It
nothing
doesn't
to input
respond
here.
to. Now, if I'm not mistaken, that image stays there, which means you guys keep going, correct?
I'm gonna leave it there for a while, but I can't move it unless I'm in range of it. So when we're 120 feet away, I'm gonna bring it back to us to cover us up again.
Okay. Are you going to try and duck out of where everybody is so no one sees y'all?
Nah, there's plenty of chaos. Like we might get a small chance to get spotted briefly, but I think it's worth it to just keep moving. We do have DeFera's Pass without trace still.
That's true.
Yeah.
You guys are booking it through the streets and everything. After about a few minutes, you pull not even a few minutes, just like 10, 20 seconds. You
Yeah.
pull that image back to y'all. As y'all are running, you're seeing more and more soldiers dragging pails of water and shovels and other things towards where all the chaos is going on. As y'all get back to the beach, there is a ton of soldiers lined all over the place, patrols all over the place. Y'all's boat, where you guys had left it, is essentially surrounded. Not in the aspect of like they're like, what is this boat doing here? It's more just these
There's tons of
soldiers
people
are
getting water.
correct.
Okay.
Baru, how long can you stay shape changed into like a shark?
I can't change into a shark.
You just did that yesterday.
You did that
I've
yesterday
never
in the
been a
sea.
shark before. What are you talking about?
This is worse.
Interesting.
I can't even swim. It would be crazy.
Yeah, we know. That's why you became a shark.
I'm gonna go up to Tanathil and just whispers, something's very off with that one.
I'm not even surprised anymore. It just keeps getting weirder.
I mean, he's kind of normal from where I'm from.
Okay. We can get back to that later.
I wonder what happens if we throw you in the water.
From experience, I would probably just sink like a rock.
Interesting. We need to get over to the other side. We're not getting that boat. So unless we go wander the shore and hope that we get out of the undead in the water, away from here, away from all patrols, and swim,
You
which
get two,
I don't think is going to be such a great adventure for us.
you have about 2 minutes before that spell ends there, Tanithel. You're feeling the fact it starting to wane.
Alright. Well, I can cast another illusion and potentially help us out a bit here.
You make
Oh.
us look like guards.
Let me rephrase that. I apologize. I apologize. This is my bad on a DM. You would have had to have recasted that
So this is my
already.
second one. Okay.
Yeah.
Then
So you have already
think,
kept.
yeah, that's all I've got. I think our best bet is to try to go for the boat anyway. Just like we look like fleeing civilians. Fleeing civilians
would-
grabbing a rowboat to get out of a port town may be
Would not
reasonable.
other civilians attempt to board the ship with us?
Yeah, is there anyone else like fleeing out this far?
No.
Well, I thought the boat was surrounded by other people.
Soldiers.
Guards are
Soldiers,
Oh.
that are
not
that are
people.
grabbing
There's no
water.
I
point.
didn't realize that was exclusively guards. Okay.
Yeah.
They're
It's
trying
just
to get
guards.
water.
Water. They're on patrol. They're wondering what the hell is causing these explosions because at this point, hate to say it, they would know it's some sort of sabotage.
Oh yeah.
It's not.
That's the point.
Yeah. So they know they're on guard. You got a minute, Tanithil.
Yeah, let's run for the boat. We are a 20-foot cube of fleeing civilians.
hmm
I
Do we
need.
want to try and convince them that the guard needs their help in town?
How many are there?
There's dozens,
Right.
dozens upon dozens of
Are there
soldiers
any
and
other
guards.
boats around? Can we see anything in the waters, or are there any other boats around?
Roll perception. You got 45 seconds.
We need to just go for our boat. We don't have time to do anything else.
22.
Dirty 20.
This is why we look like humans.
100 yards down the beach, there's a boat. But there is about 10 to 12 guards down there.
We go for that boat.
Yep.
That's not even
straight
better.
to it.
There's
But
less
not-
guards.
There's
There are
still a
less.
bunch of guards, and our illusion's not going to last long enough. We need to go.
Doesn't matter. Let's go.
15.
Yeah, I'm jumping in our boat. I'm the illusion. You guys
The
come
boat
with if
is
you
on
want.
it. Okay.
How
Tanithil
close
is.
is our boat?
Yeah,
That's what-
y'all's
Pause down for
boat
a
is
second.
well.
What's the distance difference? Because we can't see it.
That is true. Y'all's 25 yards from y'all's. 100 yards from the other. The other one, though, is near water where y'all's has to be drug.
Yes, we need to
Because
push
remember,
it
y'all
back
put
into
it
the water.
underneath.
So
So
that's what we
there
need
are
to do. Just everyone together, push the
At
boat
this-
in.
there are like 40 plus guards near our boat. There are
Right.
like
10 to
maybe
12
Why
15
won't they
around the
stop
other one.
us?
Right.
And we can just jump in
Huge
and
amount
go.
of guards either way.
But ours has to be moved. The whole boat is out of the water.
And it's little.
Tanithil,
We can
you're
do
holding
that.
on to that spell as long as you can, but you
Yeah.
do not got much longer.
How far out of the water is our boat? Like it's not a big boat.
Probably 15 yards.
If we
I
all
can
grab
move
that and we
fast
just
as
charge
fuck.
it in, we can get to the water.
You don't even need to grab it. I can just shove it in.
Let's take our
It's
boat.
50. It's close to 15 yards. That's 15, 30,
45
45,
feet.
45 to 50 feet.
Yes, we're all gonna work together, push this boat into the water.
Okay, I need strength check with advantage from Saphira. Hate to say it. 1,000 pounds of movement. She's got. Yeah.
I mean, I can help push that.
We're all gonna
True.
help push this.
So, can I get a strength check from DeFaro and Saphira, both with advantage? As they are pushing this,
That
as y'all
is
begin pushing, the spell ends.
dirty 20.
Tanithil, Fida, as that spell ends and you guys instantly become noticeable, the guards automatically start kind of like taking a second look. And one goes, "Oi, elf!" And just points in the direction of Tanithil. They're drawing swords at this point. What was the strength check from Saphira?
Dirty 20.
You guys are grabbing the boat and just yanking it to the water line. As it's hitting the water, where's Tanithil, Fida, and Emerald?
As it's hitting the water, we should be
Right
jumping in
beside
the boat.
us. Yeah.
Y'all are jumping in. Okay. Then what's up there, Emerald? Okay. I would say that about 6 are going to try and fire shots off at y'all with bows. Okay. What the hell?
How's it going?
I rolled 2 crits.
All right then.
4 of these shots are headed towards Tanithil. 2 are headed towards Fida. Okay, because y'all are the ones that scratch that.
Wouldn't DeFaro and I be the closest?
You guys are grabbing the boat. The guards do not you understand Kolvik and the amount of hatred towards
Who they
elves
target.
They
Yeah.
hate
Okay.
would
elves.
Yeah, that's right.
it's a long history on that aspect.
So
Tanithil,
they
4
hate
shots are
elves
coming towards you.
more
2 are
than
going
the
to actually go
consuming
towards the
giant
Pharaoh.
monster.
Y'all don't know a lot about Kolvik. No one done history on this kingdom at all.
Yeah. They hate elves. Do some
What
damage.
is Tanithil's AC?
16, unless a 21 is gonna save me from any of those.
2 are crits.
So, do they get
no.
disadvantage with hitting you?
Yes, they do.
Because
They
you
have
could.
disadvantage until they hit me.
Okay, so if that is the case, then none of the shots would actually hit because disadvantage. Apologize, I forgot about the cloak of displacement.
You gave me like the best item in D&D.
It's because I love you there, Aaron. It's because
Love
I
you too.
So much that there's an
The
entire
fair-
kingdom that hates you.
right. Gafaru, what is your AC?
17.
17. First shot lands directly in your back. 8 piercing. Okay. The second shot right by you and just misses. Everybody, arrows are just flying by you guys as you guys are jumping in the boat. And Saphira, I'm pretty sure you're just like, fuck it, and just rowing. You don't even let anybody else do it.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
just going. As you guys,
Deferu, maybe. He's pretty big.
as you guys are heading through the river, you hear a bunch of the guards say, "They're in the river! They're crossing it! Towards the Ashland Kingdom!" And just there's only one kingdom. Cross the river.
Uh-huh. Like shoot
As
a firebolt back at one of these guys. Say, the Ashland
yeah,
Kingdom
good.
sends its regards. And
If
then
I'm
Fire a
not
fireball.
rowing, I'll
Go for
fire
it.
arrows back at them.
Yeah, go for it. Y'all can
15
do
to
that.
hit.
That hits.
Lobbing Eldritch Blast at whoever is closest and whoever are the ones that are shooting at us.
Yeah, y'all want to fire shots off, y'all can.
Okay. Well, an action would be 2 attacks, so 23 and 28 to attack.
If it's higher
Emerald,
than it,
play
Okay.
something chasey.
if it's 15 or higher, it hits. So Zara, roll damage.
11 twice.
Okay. What about Fida?
I have a 25 and a 15 to hit for the first
Both those
one.
hit.
Both of those hit.
Yeah.
Where's my tens? I can't
Oh.
find my good dice.
Actually, that would have been
23.
23 damage.
what's a d4?
As y'all are crossing the river and y'all are just popping shots off. Deferu, Fida, your shots actually hit a couple of soldiers and they just crumble to the ground. Tanithil, the one that you hit, just like his like shoulder just gets rocked as like he just kind of like grabs on and just kind of like tries to take another shot, but it just doesn't go anywhere. Eventually,
A little bit.
quickly, you guys get out of the range of their shots as y'all are making y'all's way across the river. I need a athletics check from Saphira.
Oogie doogie. Is that Trail? I have a question.
Good.
I have advantage to push, pull, lift, and
You have
break
advantage.
objects. Okay.
You're technically pulling oars, aren't you?
That's why I asked.
I'd have both.
That's why I asked, just for clarification. 22.
You guys are making y'all's way across the river rather rapidly. Who's facing the Kolvik Kingdom by chance? Minus
I
All
think
of us
those are the
shooting at them.
shooting.
my after I'm talking about after just a minute. So the ones that were still shooting?
I'll be keeping a watch, make sure nothing's coming behind us.
Yeah, that's where the danger mostly is.
As y'all
Tanithil and I
are
both have the range for it.
I'll keep my eye back that way.
watching the shoreline. in the distance. Someone in a dark black mist just appears. The staff he's holding. This
Damn it.
green emerald is pointed towards the ground. Head is cocked. You can't really get a good look at the person, but he's got a cloak. It's tattered, just kind of flowing in the wind.
Good enough
You just-
look.
He's just
So-
staring. Hey, you
Saphira's
guys.
tattoos and eyes
How far
start
away is he?
shifting color and glowing, and she starts rowing harder in a rage.
Y'all are a few hundred yards at this point.
hmm But there are potentially countless zombies under the water below us.
Mhm.
I'm
Well,
gonna
it
try and
seems
take a
we missed
shot.
him.
What'd you say that to
Fortunate.
Farron?
I want to try and take a shot at him.
Go ahead.
What is your
Yes.
bow?
Yes.
Well, I have the sharpshooter feat, which means long range doesn't impose disadvantage on the
And
ranged
if you have
weapon
a
attack.
longbow, that's 600 feet.
Oh, it is a short bow, so I don't know how far that's
Oh,
going.
You're not hitting
I think
that.
it's 150.
Grabs longbow off of Sierra.
You can
I
have
have-
guidance.
2.
Well, I critted.
Add your D4.
And
Oh man, that's a hell of a crit.
I don't think you're
Oh,
gonna
it's
would-
hit.
D20. I stand
Like hell
corrected
I
on the
am.
distance. I was thinking of something else.
You don't know me
I
and my
w-
weird squiggly shadows.
I'm not gonna lie. I did say you could take a shot. I did say that. As the arrow flies through the air, you see it land just directly in front, like between his legs. Like it just arced just right. Had you fired like just a few seconds sooner, it would have been a dead-on hit in the chest.
I was gonna say right in the kneecap.
I'm so confused.
Shame he's not a necro anymore.
Right between the toes.
But you can tell he's just staring at you guys until he's gone. Just
well, I think we caused enough of a stir.
I think we need to go talk to Montila.
Uh-huh.
as you guys make y'all's way back on shore, you see on the Ashland Kingdom dozens of soldiers just kind of on the beach, weapons, bows, swords drawn. At the front, you see Montila in full military gear as you guys row up onto the shore.
Hello.
It
You
worked.
wanted the war. You got war.
No, that was secret. Don't talk about that right now.
I wouldn't
So is
go
that
over
it?
there. It's kind of crazy.
May
Don't
y'all,
like you. They don't
Come
like you
here.
guys right now.
may y'all come here, she says.
Get out of the boat and go up to her.
Lumbers on over.
As you guys get closer, she pulls her sword. I recommend y'all do not resist. As a member of the Ashland Kingdom, you are hereby under arrest for crimes against the
How
culture
many
kingdom.
guards are around her?
There are dozens. I recommend you do not resist. She looks at Tanathil and gives a small wink.
Do I see that?
Roll perception.
There's this line from the Three Musketeers movie that without the wink, I was really gonna go with.
Let
"Don't
me
be so
tell you,
stupid. Of course we intend to resist. Just give us a minute."
it's a real good thing I got a nat 20. So that's a 26. because it
You
was
s-
about to be a bad day.
You see it. She goes, by a member of the Ashland Kingdom, you are under arrest. For crimes against the Kelvic Kingdom, death penalty is most likely expected of the group of y'all. Y'all be escorted to the Aston Citadel, where y'all will await punishment.
Take me away. My crimes are too great. I must serve justice.
Ayana and Emerald, by the way, do not know this. Neither does DeFaro, because they didn't see that.
Fear's just shaking her head at
Yeah, I want to
Tanithil.
put on like Shakespearean drama here.
But that's where we're going to end for tonight.
I'm just mean mugging.
I want to say, by the way, she does come across like convincing for Emerald, Fida, and DeFaro. Just want to point that out. Tanithil, Saphira, y'all saw the very subtle wink.
I trust her at the moment, so I'm taking what she says at word.
I'm gonna follow the lead of everybody else in the party.
Gonna go.
Okay. Right. But with that, we're going to end it for tonight. We hope y'all had a good evening. Otter, if you could close us out.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Make sure to tune in for the rest of the week for the other games we have going on right now. The Troubleshooters will not be back this Monday, but we are returning for Season 4 next Monday the 7th. Tuesday, we have our Star Wars game of Remnant Shadow. Wednesday, we have Falskallen Knights ran by JT. Thursday, we have a Knight's Ransom ran by Maddie. Saturday, we have the Stolen Cities ran by Alex. And then I guess we're going to jail next week on Varinheim.
With the season finale.
Yeah.
Shall we go to jail?
Episode title right there. Go to jail.
Going to jail.
Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
That being said, we hope y'all have a good evening. We'll see y'all next week.